What's going on, guys? It's Jack here, taking a look at another NBA draft prospect, profiling Luke Kennard today. And, as a Duke fan, a guy who I've seen a lot of the past couple of years, a player who at 6'6", 200 pounds with a 6'6" wingspan, has good size for the shooting guard position, and is a guy who developed a lot from year one to year two, made tremendous improvement. But there's this narrative out there that he wasn't a good player his freshman year and he wasn't a good shooter, and that's really not necessarily the case. He had a number of 30-point outbursts his freshman campaign, a couple of them. Yes, he also had a number of games where he scored less than 10 points. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that his freshman year, the real issue was consistency and confidence. He didn't have either of those things as a freshman, and he was also the third option on a good night on that team behind Grayson Allen and Brandon Ingram. And this season, with all the controversy surrounding Grayson Allen, and he got off to a slow start, hampered by injuries as it is, and then the other injuries that affected the top-notch freshmen, Jason Tatum, Harry Giles, allowed Luke Kennard to really move into the primary offensive scorer role, and that really allowed him to flourish. Just looking at the stats this season, almost 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, on shooting numbers that were, incredible, almost 50% from the field, 44% from the three-point line, and 86% from the line. And, that followed up a freshman campaign where he only averaged 12 points and shot only 42% and 32% from the three-point line. Granted, he did shoot it a little bit better from the free throw line at 89%, but that doesn't take into account that his sophomore year he shot the ball just much more. So, to improve his efficiency and his volume at the same time, says a lot about the player that Luke Kennard became his sophomore year. He's a guy who's, consistent. He scored at least 15 points a game almost every time out. I want to say it was every time this past season. And he really took the reins as the scoring leader of this team. He's a great shooter with a smooth stroke. He can get it off, off spot up, off the dribble, off a screen, you name it. This guy can get his shot off, and he's going to do it in a smooth manner. He's got a nice, fluent release, and this is a guy who also he's got great footwork. Okay, guys, like, his footwork is so developed at this point, it's really not fair. And for a guy who's going to turn 21 this June, and so will therefore play his entire rookie season at age 21, he's definitely more advanced than you would see a lot of typical players at this age. And, he can pivot. He loves pivoting off of either his left or right foot. And that's the other thing, guys. This guy's ambidextrous, okay? He was a right-handed quarterback in high school. And, he plays basketball primarily left-handed. But, with that being said, he can shoot with either hand, finish with either hand, and is adept also at passing with both hands. And so, therefore, you get an extremely versatile offensive player who can, do a bit of everything. He can score in the mid-range. He does a much better job at finishing in the lane than you would suspect with a guy who's not very long and not overly athletic, but he does have some sneaky athleticism, can get up for some dunks at times, and is a player who, utilizes head fakes, pump fakes, and those side dribbles that have become more in vogue of recent years to get his shot off, because he doesn't have that, elite athleticism to kind of just create space off the dribble. And, as I've said earlier, this guy's just a really intelligent basketball player. The assist numbers don't wow you, 2.5, but they didn't have a traditional point guard. And so, actually, what he was doing was really kind of, at times, playing out of position. And so, that didn't necessarily help him. But I think as a guy who, is a secondary or third playmaker, he's going to do a fine job. You just don't want him to be the point guard, and at times he was the de facto option for this Duke team. And really the best spot for him is when he gets to come up from the corner off a pin down screen. He just when he gets to the top, he has so many options. And when Luke Kennard has options on offense, you are in a lot of trouble on the defensive end of the court. He's just too smart and too good of a player to not take advantage of those situations. Now, defensively is really where some of the concerns come in. Obviously, offensively, the athleticism limitations may hurt him finishing in the interior at the next level, but defensively, it's going to be a bit more of a problem staying in front of the faster ball handlers. He's a very good off-ball defender, and he's got good hands that generate, deflections and steals at times, but on the ball, he's going to struggle with the more athletic guys, the guys who have better handles and can kind of take him off the dribble at times. He's going to be beat. And therefore it may, slow down the amount of minutes he gets initially. But I think that, with a player with his intelligence and his ability to guard as a team defender, he's going to find success for sure at the next level. And so I think Luke Kennard is a guy who should be picked just outside the lottery, between picks 15 and 25, and should be a guy who contributes to a winning team at the next level for many years to come. He's one of my, safer picks in this year's draft. I just don't, it's tough for me to not see him averaging 10 points a game at the very least next level, and being a contributor either off the bench as, a 6th, 7th man or a starter. And if you're a team in that range that I just mentioned, like Oklahoma City, who definitely needs shooting, I just don't understand how you don't take this guy. I think the argument is there's going to be guys who may have higher ceilings on the draft, but I wouldn't take away from Luke Kennard continuing to develop. I don't think his chance of, his ceiling is necessarily as high as some other players in that range. Maybe a guy like a Terrence Ferguson, but his floor is definitely much higher. And he's going to just come in right away, be a professional. He's smart, and he's going to earn some minutes right away as a rookie. It just depends on his defense initially, how many minutes he will get. But for sure, within a couple years in the league, this is a guy who's going to be a double-figure scorer without a doubt in my mind. But guys, let me know what you think about Luke Kennard in the comments below. Do you like him? Do you not like him? Do you think his athleticism will be, a limitation at the next level, which is a definite, legitimate complaint? And so, yeah, let me know what other prospects you want to see. Did you like this video? And whatever other comments you want to give me about this video. Did I suck? Whatever else you want to say, let me know. I want to hear it. I'm out.